is on, and I believe I'm Bethany Farmer.
You're exactly right. It's just the amazing Kenny Cummings.
Yeah, yeah, guilty as charged. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, actually. I'm actually here in Eastern Kentucky and singing the national anthem for an MMA event here. We try to keep it local and support big events, like closer to back home. So it's good to talk to you. I'm glad we're finally getting to sit down and have a little chat.
Very, very true. It's been a long time
Yeah.
coming, and I like to tell
Yes.
stories. I like to tell stories of how I meet local artists for the first time. And so the first time I met you, it wasn't necessarily a show that you performed. It was at a jazz
Mhm.
show. Shout out to Mark Tyree,
Mhm.
very talented
Yes.
local musician. And
Mhm.
I went on Facebook that you was going to attend, so I was like, you know what? I never been to a jazz show in Lexington before, so I go check it out. So I did, and it was a sensational show. And I remember when you first saw me, you came up to me, and you gave me a big hug. I was like, oh my God, Kenny! And
That's what we
and
do around here. We give hugs.
I love Southern hospitality. Ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing
Yeah.
like it.
Good.
So you've been a true supporter of me. You always tell people about me,
Mhm.
and that's very encouraging. It's very heartfelt and everything. And I thank people like you on the local scene for your passion and music and just doing what you love to do. So, Bethany, thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. I want to actually thank you for being like so supportive and actually being out there on the scene and really caring about what people do. And thank you for the support. I mean, you're thanking me, and I really appreciate that, and you're welcome. But thank you for people like you who go out there and really support these local artists. And it's really it's very encouraging for us, to really want to go out there and give it all we got. And it's not always, the easiest thing to do, but as long as you keep doing what you love and you're lucky enough to have people in your life that encourage you to do what you love, then I think that's really all you need. So thank you.
Absolutely welcome.
hmm
So you as a musician, like, how did you got
hmm
started into becoming a musician?
Okay, well, let's see. Well, I've always been into music, anything music, art, or dance related since I was very young. But I would have to say one of my biggest influences, which I don't know if a lot of people know, maybe closest to me do, is Michael Jackson, idols of all time. Just the way he sang, the way he moved. He was a perfectionist. Just kind of wanted me to just do all of those things. Just as a young kid. Whether it be Michael Jackson, Dolly Parton even, Bonnie Raitt, Emmylou Harris, Shania Twain, when I was a teenager, I was just influenced by a lot of different artists, Motown, 50s and 60s music, Redding, Percy Sledge. I'm just so influenced by so many different types of music that it's really hard to actually put myself into like one specific genre because, as a writer and things like that, I mean, I'm influenced by it all. But Michael Jackson, music, the way it made me feel, the way it made, which is actually a Michael Jackson song, not to bring that up. But just the way it made me feel, it was just always a really good influence in my life. I could sit in my room and listen to music for hours. Um, Even I grew up in church. My dad was a preacher. My mom taught Sunday school as a kid. Whether it be the tambourine or the piano, I was playing around on. I actually didn't teach myself to play guitar until I was about 18. Um, but I was just literally self-taught a lot. I actually play music by ear. I actually do not read music. I read tabs, which I don't know if a lot of people know that. But, I mean, it's a very long story. This is why I write a lot about it. It's really hard to put in a few minutes, but yeah, just a lot of different things had me to do music. It's just part of who I am. There's a Ray Charles quote that actually explains it pretty thoroughly, actually.
I do remember on numerous occasions when we've had our chats that you bring up
Hmm.
Motown very often, and I love
That's my
Motown.
favorite.
Like,
Hmm.
Temptations, Stevie.
Hmm.
I mean, the
Oh
list
yeah.
goes on and on. And my
Hmm.
parents played their music a lot when I was a kid. And eventually, as I got older, I wanted to learn more of that company, what they meant to the music
Hmm.
industry, and they meant so much. I mean, it was just
Hmm.
there was nothing fake about it. It was just heartfelt, and it was
Mm-mm.
love, and it was just peaceful, and got you on the dance floor and boogie and have a good time. And
Absolutely.
there are times I wish
Hmm.
I lived in that area when they first hit the scene. It was just good music overall. Um,
in addition to what you said, it's the soul. It was the soul that lived in that era. It was the delivery of these artists that is completely unmatched. I mean, honestly, if I try to give everything I got, I consider myself a soul singer. Coming from Eastern Kentucky, I'm a country singer. I'm this. Well, maybe I am a little bit of that. A little bit. All of it shapes me. But deep down, I am a soul singer. I am. I'm deep down Motown. I'm the Bonnie Raitt. I'm the Susan Tedeschi from the Tedeschi Trucks Band. I am that. There's so much heart and soul. And if I can even get close to the 50s and 60s and Motown era, then I've accomplished something. Because that's pretty much almost an untouchable era in my opinion. But like I said, the delivery, the love, the all of it, it just takes you to a different place. The story and just all of it, the emotion. Like I said, you nailed it with your description. But in
mhm.
addition, it's that soul. It's a delivery. As a singer, as an artist, it's all about delivery. How you get that message across to your audience, and how you get that across. And they just nobody's ever done it like them. So I wish I'd have grown up during that era too, Kenny. We'd have been best friends, I'm sure. Talking about it.
With the soul and everything, I think I got a new nickname for you, cause I'm gonna call you the soul.
I'm
I'm gonna call you the soul
I'm listening.
capture, because you capture my
I
soul.
like that.
The soul capture.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much.
you
I love that.
oh, I'm glad you did. It just came off the top of my head just now, and country soul. I like when artists can blend a variety of
Mhm.
genres and
Mhm.
make it their own, make it their own style, make it their
Mhm.
own soul. I feel like that's what music has
Yes.
become more often, is that nobody sells genre. They wanna blend in so many genres and try to make it their own. And
Yeah, and for me, honestly, I don't even do it intentionally. Like I'm not try like I don't even try to blend in the try to do I'm influenced by all the different types of music that I've grown up to and listened to and grown to love, but I don't do it because I want to be a part of this and that and whatever. It's kind of just like I just happen to kind of fit in here and fit in there. It's unintentional because I love all music. Like everybody knows, I love hip hop dance. That's something I've always loved. I've always been a dancer, and then as far as music goes, I love it all. I mean, I love gospel music. That's where my roots started. I believe in God. I'm a firm believer in God, and I started doing that at a young age. And it's just I do not like to put myself in one genre. I'm not aiming for one goal. I'm aiming to do what I'm meant to do. I do it because that's what I'm meant to do. And if God gave me this, gave me the gift to reach out to people and to reach a mass amount of people, regardless of what that reason may be, then I'm going to do it. And I have actually at this point I have no control over it because I am meant to do it. It's part of who I am. It's like the Ray Charles quote I actually kind of said earlier. It's like my blood. It's like a part of my body, that was in me the day that I was born, and it's not going anywhere. It's just part of who I am. I love everybody. I love all types of music. I support independent artists. And I would really like to see a lot more of that happening, especially, in Kentucky. I think that, supporting locally is something that you do, that I do as well, and I would really like to see a lot more of. And I think, having interviews like this and talking about it like this is going to actually promote that. And so that's, again, I thank you for going out there and supporting these local artists. So, again, thank you. And I'm just really glad that you've been there to support me and other artists. And, I couldn't thank you enough. It actually just motivates me and inspires me to keep doing what I'm doing and what I love.
To hear that from you definitely means a lot, considering that
Mm-hmm.
I've been going to local music shows for 2 years now, 2+ years.
Mm-hmm.
It's been
Yeah.
2 years, almost 2 years since I moved back to Kentucky, to Lexington, as a matter of fact. I
Mm-hmm.
lived in Lexington half my life, and
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't active, going to local shows in my first go
Mm-hmm.
around. So clearly, I must have missed out on something. Like I'm seeing the basketball, and I'm seeing the horse racing, and I'm like, and I love music. I like the mainstream
Yeah.
music. I jam to it every now and then. But all those artists that you hear in the mainstream, they started off somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
They were local artists themselves, and I feel like if
Oh, yeah.
if people can support local music as much as they support mainstream music, just imagine how great the community can be, how much elevating that community can be. Um,
1,000% agree
mhm.
with that. 1,000%.
So,
And from
no, go ahead.
even like, yeah, even for like, you were talking about local music. Like myself, I'm from Eastern Kentucky. I'm from one of the smallest towns in Eastern Kentucky. And there is so much talent that has came out of that area that is still there. And if there's like, there's just really so much talent, in the state of Kentucky and places that you would never even expect. I'm going to give a shout out to my hometown, Hyde, Kentucky, because I know so many talented artists and musicians there that they do it, for their children, or they do it for fun. They do it for hobbies, not because they're trying to make a million or be famous or anything like that, which is, for myself, I've had opportunities to, contracts and things like that, opportunities to go off and do this, but I stay so like into my roots, and maybe deep down as an independent artist, I really don't like people telling me what to do with my music. And that's just the fact. I put a lot of heart into it, a lot of soul, a lot of pain. It's been a, and every bad situation or good situation is inspiration, for all those things. So I wouldn't change a thing in my life, the good or the bad, because I think that is part of life, and I think it molds people, and how you handle it really actually defines your character, and just, helps you become who you're meant to be. And I really do think that life is a journey, and you just have to really enjoy it, all the ups, all the downs, try to see the good in everything, and that's all you can do. But music is everywhere, and I really, like you said, I just really would like to see all this talent and all this just come together. Even in the state of Kentucky, I think it would just blow people away. I think that the state of Kentucky, even, eastern, central Kentucky, could put L.A. off the map. I mean, that's just my opinion. I've seen some really talented individuals, and just very proud of them to see where they've come. It's just, people do it for different reasons. I do it because it's part of who I am. It's starting to, help pay the bills at this time, but it wasn't easy, at first. Come and sing the national anthem, and getting paid to do something that I love, that takes time, especially if you do it on your own. And that's what I hope that a lot of artists understand. It doesn't happen overnight if you go independently. It's something that happens with hard work and perseverance. And whether or not you get people supporting you that you expect to support you 1,000%, in the end, it's your life, and it's what you love and what you want to do. So, again, that's why I would thank God, because if it wasn't for God, then I would still not be continuing doing what I do. Because sometimes, life takes you on an alternative route. All of a sudden, you're right back on the right path. And that's what's happened to me. So many good things have been happening lately. I got a new album coming out. I've been going recluse, been writing a lot. Just really been soul searching, and I've really, some really beautiful people have come into my life and changed it. And it's really hard to explain. It's really hard to fit into, a segment on the radio, but that's why I write about it. And I just appreciate you reaching out and listening and being curious about it. But yeah, there's a lot to talk about: music, talent, keeping it local, all the support. I'm all about it. I'm on your side. I think we should all come together, Central Kentucky, Lexington, Richmond, all of us, just come together. Let's really fight for these talented people, that's in our town.
To use a sports analogy, Kentucky, we're not New York. We're not Miami. We're not LA. We're underdogs. So,
Yeah.
uh, so it's, all we can do is keep pushing, and underdogs do find a way to pull an upset. So, but until then, all the artists that I see doing their thing like yourself, keep on
Mhm.
doing it, keep on going. You doing a great thing for the state of Kentucky, and I for one appreciate all the artists out there, regardless of your genre.
Mhm.
Everyone has that feeling. Everyone has a story to tell, and and to put it all into words, put it all into music, put it all into sound, and to see it all put together, and to guide us through. It's good feeling.
Mhm.
Um, so props to you, Bethany. I'm proud of you for
Thank you.
what you do and for what you have done. And she's all over social media, by the way. She's on Twitter. She's on Reverb Nation. She's on SoundCloud. She's on YouTube. You can check out original songs. You can check out her debut album that she put out years ago. And she's working on a new album. And thank you so much for being on the show. Truly appreciate it. I'm going to go and let you go. But keep posting on this new album. You doing an album show or something. Like,
I,
keep me in the loop.
mhm. I'm letting something slip really quick. I don't know if I'd actually seen it but it actually came up with the title of the album.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Finding.
Fine.
It's called Finding Home. They say home is where your heart is, right? Where you feel, to
True.
me, that's where you feel loved and you feel the most safe.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to go out and create your own, and maybe you spend a lifetime looking for it. So you're always trying to find that place. And over the past couple of months, I have, went off the grid, went off social networking for a while, and I've done some really awesome stuff that I just can't wait to share with all of you. And it's called Finding Home, and I'm just super excited about it. And I look forward to actually seeing you very soon. And thank you for, this opportunity and doing what you do. Just do me a favor, doing what you do.
All right. I'm on social media, so I'll definitely keep you in the loop for sure. Um,
All right, honey. You guys have a great evening. I'm in Eastern Kentucky for a little while and seeing some family and then going right back to the grind. That's the way
all
it
right.
goes.
Absolutely. You have a good night, Beth.
You too, Kenny. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That
Bye-bye.
was singer-songwriter Beth Farmer.